A very good evening, all of you. This is Karthik from GoFrugal team. At the very outset, I would want to thank you all sincerely and welcome you all profusely for registering with us and also for making up for the session. So before I would commence, I would just like to give you all two very small instructions for us to make the session more effective. The first one is you are accessing it from mobile, and if you feel that the sort of the fonts needs to get bigger, so you please double tap on the screen so that it zooms and comes up. The second one is you would find a question mark symbol on top of the app. Now right hand side you would find a question mark symbol. That symbol you can use it whenever you want to ask questions. Whenever you have questions, you'll be able to ping us. You'll please ping me by clicking on that question mark and typing out your question. So these are the simple instructions so that we'll have this session as an interactive one, right? Okay, I would like to set out the agenda for this discussion. I'm probably going to tell you all about the differentiators that GoFrugal has for the supermarket solution. So if you see, fine, fair enough. I'm sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So I was just telling you about the agenda where I was talking about our presence in the market for over 15 years, and we have a widespread global presence in 33 countries with about 8,000 supermarkets using it in a full-fledged manner. And having you registered with us, I would start with this meeting with one assurance. So this is an assurance which I give it to all my customers over the 7 years. I've got the opportunity to talk to a lot of customers like you. One assurance which I give my supermarket customers is this: the decision to register and the eventual decision to buy our software will be one of your best investments you have ever done for your business. Because my customers always tell me that software is one of the vital investment for the business, because the operational efficiency, or some customers also tell me that software can also be the difference between success and failure. It is definitely a differentiator for us in maximizing our operational efficiency. So with this assurance, please take it from me. Trust me that this will be one of the effective and the best investment you have ever made for your business. So having said this, let me get into the topic. I have classified my presentation into 3 levels of differentiation. First level is I have taken the differentiators during the digital journey. I would tell you what the digital journey is. So second differentiators I have taken are differentiators when it comes to the product, which is 15 years old. The third differentiation is our differentiators when it comes to GST. Now I've taken the GST at last for a very simple reason. If you look at our vision, or if we're able to appreciate our vision and the depth in our product, then you will definitely appreciate our bandwidth in fulfilling this transition. Because the GST transition for 25,000 customers and 8,000 customers of supermarkets alone is definitely a Herculean task, but we have successfully done it in a manner that our customers didn't even feel that there was a transition. So that is the bandwidth, and this bandwidth can only be achieved with a foresighted vision or a long-term vision. Secondly, with a in-depth product. So that's why I've kept the differentiator for GST at last, which I'll be telling you. The first one, coming to the differentiators when it comes to digital journey. Now what I mean by digital journey. Now when you register, I'm sure you have gone through our websites. So one thing which you see very often in the website is the word digitization, digital. Now it's about taking the customers on a different level. Now it's about, just like we came out of calculators to come to a billing machine to a computer, it is necessary that we go to the next stage. So that next stage is our digital journey, and we have effectively started it with mobility. Now the mobile apps which we have and the mobile apps which the customers are using is one and only in the market, and this is a a standing example to our vision that we want to take customers ahead on this digitalization. I would request you all to please download and experience the apps that I've written it down. Trust me, you will find it very, very insightful. And I'll also give you a brief of what each of these apps can do to your business with some value addition in terms of numbers. The first app is Watch Now. All these are available both in Play Store and Apple Store. The first Watch Now is very simple. As you can see, the Watch Now, the name rhymes with WhatsApp. So you get the same experience, but the only difference is you'll be chatting with the software. WhatsApp, you chat with your friends. So by chatting, I mean, you imagine a situation where you're sitting in the airport. Let's say you're going out for purchase. You're sitting in the airport. Suddenly you get a question saying how much of stock of this particular product I have from this supplier. So when you get a question, what do? Probably you have to make a phone call. Let's say there's only one person in the store. He's focusing on the customer. He's not picking the call. So even when he picks, let's take you're boarded the flight and you're not reachable. So there could be a situation where you are not getting the answer, which is very important. But with this Watch Now, when I said chatting with your software, you instantly ask the question to this app saying, what is my stock from this supplier? So we get a real-time answer saying this much is the quantity, this much is the value. Secondly, you would also want to know what is the purchase history. So this much is the stock I have, but I also want to see how much I have purchased last time, last to last time. Now, if at all, let's take for products like fancy items, probably I go for a purchase every 3 months. You would want to know what is your purchase for the last 1 year equally. So last purchase also you will be able to see. I'm just telling you one scenario where a purchase decision with critical information can be achieved through Watch Now. A second example is very simple. Now let's take you are sitting in, let's take you have gone to, let's take our base is Chennai, you have gone to Goa for purchase or Bombay for purchase. So you would definitely want to know at the day end, what is my overall cash sale, what is my overall credit sale, what is my Sodexo. Because you give an opening cash and go for purchase, you want to know whether that has got tallied, whether there is any shortage or excess. That is a concern which you may have. So instantly ask this app on what is my overall sales payment mode wise. It will give you the answer. So this way we have more than 800, 900 questions which is pertinent to your business, for which you get real-time answers. So instant answers, you're not dependent on anybody. Fine. So this is about Watch Now. And the second app is called Sell Smart. Now the word Sell Smart itself states it is helping you to sell in a smarter way. So smarter way, by saying smarter way, I mean for us, space is money. So Sell Smart is helping you to save space, which is resultant eventually which is helping you save money. So Sell Smart is a mobile based or tablet based app which can act as a queue buster, or in other words, which can replace a computer in your store. So now normally let's take a 4,000 square feet supermarket. Let's assume it has about 3 to 4 billing counters and one at the back end and one main computer for the owner. So we can definitely say with Sell Smart you can replace one computer, right? And this not only helps you to save space, but you can use that space effectively for showcasing some other products. Because let's take in a 4,000 square feet supermarket, let's take as of today we have about 18,000 products. Same next year, same date, we may not have 18,000, but we may have some products higher. We have higher number of products in the same store space or same selling space. So in a way, we are now actually compensating the space to accommodate new products. But this Sell Smart gives you an ample opportunity or a ready opportunity for you to use the space effectively for stocking products which can be used for selling. So that is about Sell Smart. It helps you sell in a smarter way, an easier way and a faster way. And third app is My GoFrugal. So this I would want to relate it with what's now. So if you have to go back to what's now, I said you are connected with your business always. So with my GoFrugal, it is very simple. You are connected with GoFrugal always. So you have a question, you please ask us through my GoFrugal app. So you would want to know your overall engagements with GoFrugal, you please look at the app. Let's take you have a complaint which you want to intimate us, you please raise a ticket and we'll resolve it. So, and let's take make releases for the products. Let's take we have succeeded in making about 58 releases, meaning every week, almost every week you get a product update. We have been doing it for the last 3 years, which means more than 150 plus product updates has happened in our product every week. So that this also adds to our product depth or our bandwidth. So all these release and its benefits are conveyed to you through my GoFrugal app. So it is very simple. You are always connected to GoFrugal also, not only to your business. That is what is my GoFrugal. The fourth one is my pulse. My pulse, as it says, it talks about the feedback. How would you, let's take you do door deliveries. How would you know that the customer is satisfied? How would you know? Let's take customer has found that certain product is damaged. How will he let you know? Let's take you have sold let's say he has bought a 1 kg of repacked rice and he finds an insect. So he has to intimate to you. So he can definitely tell you. And he can also tell you about the other feedback with respect to the delivery process also. So this is about getting feedback from customers to ensure that you are connected to them for a repeat business. That is my pulse. So all these are very, very intuitive apps which you can download and experience. And trust me, you would find it. You will not find such apps anywhere, nor you would have seen it anywhere, because there are certain things. My customer once was telling me that when I was telling him about what's now, he told me that he has thought about such things, but he never knew this could happen. So seeing the app, this was what was his feedback. So I'm sure seeing all these apps, you would get the same feel. You would have had this in mind, but you wouldn't know from where to get it or whether this will happen or not. Don't worry, it will happen. We have it already. And the last one is Windows push notifications. Push notifications is a feature that we send it or we use a medium to communicate to our customers. Now this all our communication to customers on latest releases, or let's take when it comes to GST, the initiatives which we have taken, which I'll be talking in the subsequent slides, all the information is passed on through these push notifications. It comes up immediately in your computer and you can see it. So all these are actually digital modes of engaging or making customers go to the next level. You don't have emails, you don't need emails, you don't need to make phone calls. So there is no dependency, everything, you are independent, information is independent. That is digitalization, that is the vision that we have, and this is the differentiators we have. Our differentiators we have done during this digital journey. So I would be happy if you can ask me some questions, or if you need some clarity on whatever I've spoken about this app. So if you have, please, I repeat, you go to the question mark symbol on the top right, you please type your question, I'll be able to answer. And one more thing is that this particular meeting, I just wanted to make you all confident about the product, and we will be really very happy to assist you with an in-depth demonstration of whatever is spoken, because seeing is believing, and we definitely give customers what they want. So you please you definitely have a chance to look at the in-depth demonstration of the product. But just to start with, any clarifications you have on whatever I spoke till now, you please post your questions. I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, Mr. Raghavendra has posed a question saying, is this software can be used for sports software or sports store? Yes, sir, definitely you can use it in sports stores. If you look at big names like Sports Access is a customer in Bangalore who has about 14 outlets. Chakde Sports is a customer in Bangalore who has about 4 outlets. We have customers all across using it for their business. We have a very good solution. Let's take, when it comes to cricket bat, we have different weights. We have very good option in our software to classify them based on weights and under the same brand, and ensure that you create you don't create a single SKU, you don't end up creating multiple SKUs for the same brand or same product with multiple attributes. We have a solution, sir. Definitely we will be helping. We'll be able to help you. Trust me. Yeah. So Ms. Subhashri has asked me to reiterate on SalesMart. Thank you so much, madam. I'm happy to do so. See, SalesMart is nothing. Let's take, in our store we have 3 billing counters. So SalesMart, what it does is, what you do it in the computer, you can do it through a tablet. So you can save the space of placing a computer. You can definitely do the same operations of billing through the tablet with the same pace, covering the same customers, covering the same number of products per bill, covering the same number of bills per day. So you replace a computer with a tablet. In simple words, that is SalesMart. I hope it answers your question. If not, you please post it again, madam. I'll tell you. So Mr. Manoj Gaddam had asked about e-commerce integration. I really want to thank you for asking this question, sir, because e-commerce integration is a very important tool in the digital journey. I had missed it. Thanks for pointing it out. So yes, we have an e-commerce integration readily available. We have a ready plugins available for platforms like Magento, Zeppo, and we can also integrate with websites if at all it's built with PHP, WordPress, OpenCart, Shopify, etc., etc. We have a ready-made solution, sir. We can support you. E-commerce integration helps in seamless integration of the inventory between your software and your e-commerce store, and also helps you get the real-time synchronization of selling prices and orders from the store till delivery from the POS. We have integrations, sir. We can support. Absolutely, sir. Manoj Gaddam had asked another question. So thank you again for asking this question. The SalesMart app is an app which not only helps you bill but also helps your reps take orders from customers. Your rep can go and take orders from customers. This applies for wholesale business, as you have rightly mentioned. Your reps can go and take orders through the app, and which can eventually get billed from the software. This can act as a billing within the store and also to book orders outside the store. It can happen, sir. Sure. Yes, sir. I think Mr. Manoj Karam had asked a question about e-commerce integration, and you had typed a line relating to the e-commerce integration, that is linking, having your store in an omni-channel setup where you want to have an online and offline integration. That's what the e-commerce integration is all about. We can definitely help you manage both your online and offline store seamlessly with only one solution, which is us. Absolutely, sir. Mr. Vidyaranya Maragudu has asked me an excellent question. He has asked whether it is useful, whether when I have only single person operating my Kirana store. Sir, our solution, if you see, as I told you, it has evolved over 15 years. And the very first mindset which we had when we started developing the software is it has to be used by everybody. And essentially in retail, if you see, the users are metric passouts. So our software is designed in such a way that they will definitely be able to understand and use it without any hassle. Because to tell you in one line, enter and escape is what you need in our software to operate. If you press enter, you'll go ahead. If you press escape, you'll come back. So these two things is what the software base is made up of. So definitely, sir, your one person can manage, and only one person is needed to manage, to put it that way. If you have only one person, don't worry. Only he is needed to manage your store effectively without any hassles. We'll take care. Trust me. Yeah, Mr. Manoj Gadam has asked a question saying SellSmart is going to be the app to check out customers from home. I would just like to stand corrected. I meant checkout is possible only within the store, sir, but taking orders is possible outside the stores. You know, a wholesale business, let's take you send your reps to book orders from retailers. It is outside the premise, it is possible, but billing to end customers is possible only within the store. I'm saying the scanning and billing printout operation. This is what happens in a supermarket retail counter. This operation is possible within the store. I hope I'm answered. Mr. Nitin Patel has asked a question about 61, 71 and 160% plus 28% CIS slabs. Sir, as to our knowledge, I think there are about 8 slabs which the government has defined, but I have not seen the 61, 70% in it. Whatever 8 slabs is defined as per the GST, it is definitely a part of software, sir. And if you look at the website, I'm sure when you have registered, you must have looked at this. GoFrugal is one of the GST Suvidha providers in India. There are 34 companies shortlisted, and we are very happy to tell you that we are the only retail company in those 34 companies. So we are fully prepared and fully ready, and more than, as I told you, 15,000, 18,000 customers are live already on GST. Absolutely, sir. Mr. Manoj Gadam Mr. Gokul Madhusudanan has asked a question saying freebies can be managed with the software. Absolutely, yes. The freebies, I would like to tell you 2 scenarios of how this can be managed. One is a free product comes default with the product. Now, I'm not sure this offer still runs, but this is something which I remember vividly. So Boost gives a ball free. So that is something which the company is giving, where we have an option to, whenever you buy the product, we have an option to tag that ball to that particular batch. So when you bill, automatically the ball comes out as a pop-up in the screen, and that can be given to the customers. Second is running your own offers and schemes. Now you say you shop about 1,000 rupees, you get something of this free, or you say you shop category X so much and you get category Y free. So both these can be managed through our software. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Gokul has asked just to, in the same lines, I would just like to complete the answer for his question. Absolutely, sir, the stock of those freebies also can be managed in the software, definitely. Okay. I think I'll go on with the subsequent slides, and I think I've answered your questions. If not, please post it again. I'll come back to you after I finish my subsequent slides. The second part, differentiators in the product. Now, so our product is something which can be demonstrated to you for probably 10-15 days, because if you go module by module in depth, we can demonstrate our product for 15 days. But I have chosen selected modules to tell you the highlights in our product. So these are the modules which customers ask during demonstration, or I would say that these are the modules which are thought about more by the owner, but it definitely needs the support of the software to achieve. Your decision making is dependent on the software if you want to use it effectively. So these features, if used effectively, will add up to the operation efficiency which I was talking about. So I would just like to give you a quick highlights on differentiators, key differentiators in the product. As I told you before, we'll be very happy to give you an in-depth demonstration in person or online about whatever I've spoken, and everything can be experienced by you in a little more detail. Now, I want to give you only the highlights. The first one which I've taken is about shelf life. Now, why I say shelf life is, now we may have supermarkets that deal with fruits and vegetables, which are perishables, which has a less shelf life. You go to the next step, we have milk, we have bread, which has again a lesser shelf life. Next step, we have packed products, ready to eat, ready to cook products, which has a defined shelf life. So the shelf life of supermarkets varies with the product categories. So it is necessary that we manage our replenishment, we manage our returns, to ensure we don't stock expired products, number one, and we don't bill it also. So that is the first differentiator. So I would want to talk about this shelf life first. So shelf life says in a software, if you see, the control starts from master. Now when I say master, one thing which I'm sure you would agree with me, that the stability of any software is dependent on how good its master is. Because when a master is able to capture all the information, then the transaction is going to go definitely smooth, right? So for shelf life, the item master itself, we have controls. 1 minute. So the control starts from master itself. Now when you say a shelf life for a particular product, you give whatever the shelf life. Let's take it as 12 months or 18 months or 24 months, you give it here. And you say whether expiry date capturing is mandatory. Now the shelf life can be given in two ways. One is months based and days based. When I say bread, it is days based. When I said packed products with MRP, it is months based. So you, as and when you create an item, if you are particular about the shelf life of this product, you have the provision of giving the shelf life in the master itself. And once when you give it in the master, it is taken across the screens. When you invert, there is a control for you to capture expiry date compulsorily. When you outward, you choose the particular batch, or let's say you stick barcodes on the particular product, you also have a provision to capture or generate these expiry dates in the barcode, so the system will pick the right batch against the right expiry date. If not, you are going to use the EAN code which comes with the product. You choose the particular batch and bill. In either ways, you will not be able to bill an expired product. Our software will ensure that you don't bill an expired product, because going back to my slide, I just say that the control starts from master itself, but it is true that somebody needs to pick things from the shelf. So you have people responsible for categories. They replenish as and when things get over, but no, we cannot tell to what percentage they are committed in removing expired product from the shelf. So somebody needs to remove expired product, only then it will not be picked, because the tendency is to move the expiry products deeper within the shelf and accommodate it with the new arriving stocks. But anyway, it is occupying a space. That is a concern. So when you say you want to go and pick, you definitely need to know what to pick. So there is a detailed reporting in the software where at first we have a provision to capture the rack shelf numbers of the products, so that you will know in this particular rack, this particular product, so much is expired, so we can remove it and come. So a provision to help you annihilate these expired products from the shelf is also there. Now when the masters, we went to the transactions, both purchase and sales, then we came out to a transaction of annihilating this and making a return. And last one, let's take you did not do the process of taking it from the shelf. Let's say the customer brings it to the billing counter. So when you scan, the system will tell this is expired. So either ways, you will not be able to bill an expired product. Trust me, that is one of the assurances which GoFrugal gives you. You will not be billing any expired product, and you will managing it seamlessly. To put it ahead, you will not have an expired product in the shelf. That is a better way to put it. That is about shelf life. The second one which I want to talk about is the margin protection which the software offers. So when you say margin protection, I would want to relate it right from the time of making a purchase. So let's take, as supermarkets, we have the tendency to sell it below MRP. If at all we want to bill it below MRP, you have a provision to bill it, and we bill it in MRP, and we'll show it in the bill saying you have saved so much. So it is necessary. So in this process, what you are doing is you are fixing a selling price. So you are foregoing your margin by 1%. Let's take HUL gives you 8% or 10% margin. If the MRP is 25 rupees, you price it at 24 rupees, you are foregoing 1 rupee, which means you are foregoing some percentage of margin to get repeat business. But that 7% whatever you are giving or the 1% you are foregoing must be standard. That is the protection. So anyways, your people will not be able to fix the selling price less than the defined price. This can happen through two ways. One is that the person who is operating the software, let's take he has 80 items in an invoice. So he scans and puts the quantities, he puts the cost, he puts the selling price, MRP, etc., etc. He's in a hurry to finish it. Let's take he puts plus or minus 50 paisa here and there, which is again going to reduce your margin. But when it comes to software, the software will not allow you to price a product less than the deserved margin or the defined margin which you have given it for the product. The control starts from the source. So we prevent it rather than curing it. So prevention starts from the source. So where is the source for giving you a wrong selling price? It is at the time of inward. So we prevent you in not giving a wrong selling price just by protecting you or alerting you saying, sir, you have fixed a lesser selling price compared to what you have defined. So that is a margin protection at the time of inward. Secondly, what happens, other day one of my customers was telling me, I think it happened with a brand called Achi. So what happened was the product had an MRP of 65 rupees. Initially, before 2-3 months, the cost price was 59 rupees. MRP was 65 rupees. The customer was selling it for 63 rupees. So gradually what happened? The supplier increased this cost. Let's say the cost became 59 rupees, 70 paisa, but the MRP remained the same. So it became 60 rupees, the MRP remained same. So MRP, the cost cannot change unless an MRP changes. That is the basic rule. But in case if these rules are, are basic principles in retail, if it is not adhered to, you will not even know that you are losing. But our software will tell you that you are losing. Let's take with 60 rupees at cost, 63 rupees selling price, you are getting only 3 rupees as against 6 rupees earlier. My software will tell you you are making a lesser margin for this product compared to what you were getting earlier or compared to what you had defined. So supplier frauds, number one, or random rise in the prices or supplier frauds, number one. Secondly, data entry errors. So both can result in your margin coming down by you fixing a wrong selling price. A software can 100% prevent you from doing it so. That is about margin protection. And just to show you the product in terms of how simple it is for you to make a purchase entry or fixing a selling price. See, this is our purchase entry screen. Here we have the option of you scanning and billing manually, or let's take if your supplier gives it to you in Excel, you have the provision of importing it from the Excel. Now let's take, you call this particular supplier, we have a very good reorder mechanism. All the pending purchase orders will pop up automatically. So you give the invoice number here, you give the invoice number which is printed, and you scan the products. So in this one single line, you please see that everything which is needed for you to complete the invoice, look at the history, it's available in one single line. Now if you see, you will be able to know what is the received quantity, what is the free quantity, what is its cost, what is the tax amount, if you have given any scheme discount or cash discount, this is bifurcated to the product, what is the net cost of the product, the overall landing cost per piece, what is the return on investment you are getting. Based on this, you can compare you can fix your selling price, seeing the MRP, and your gross margin which is on sales, return on investment is on cost. Margin on cost as well as margin on sales comes in one single line, and the batch number, expiry date, freight amount, everything. So one advantage here is, as I told you, our software is designed for metric pass outs. One advantage is nobody will be struggling to tally the invoice, because difference can come only in these variables which are present in one single line. So you'll be able to easily see it in one single line as to where the difference is and correct it. And history is one more USB which is very important for margin protection. So when I say history, it is about the product history. You'll be able to see the last 10 purchase histories of this product and the resultant differences in the cost, which can also help you make an actionable decision if your margin is going down. So this is about the user friendliness coupled with the intelligence in terms of protection which is giving you for protecting or keeping your margin intact in line with what you have defined. This is about margin protection. Third one is damage check and management. Now this one my customer was telling me that there is always promptness in keeping the damaged products aside. And as and when we make an invoice, we are very prompt in keeping it aside. But the promptness is not reflected when we have to return it to the supplier. So supplier comes every 7 days, he looks at the shelf, gives his order form, you verify it with the software, place the order, you get the products, mark it for damage if any, and you pay the invoice. This cycle goes on and on. No, the damaged products are just lying. In many cases, the chances are that the damages are not even marked or accounted for. The people may not mark it as a damage, because let's take something like biscuits might directly go into dustbin. But in our software, when it comes to damage, we have a very good mechanism where the damage to a purchase return is automated. So when you mark for a damage, we have a provision to call all these damaged products in the purchase return screen. When a supplier comes, make an instant purchase return. The damaged products and expiry will be taken by the supplier at the same time, but at least there is a entry in the system saying you are returning it, and there is a debit note against his ledger in the accounting. Since we have a tightly coupled accounting package, which is also a USB, you don't need to have any other third party for accounting. His ledger automatically gets a debit note. So managing damage, and in my study with my customers, I found that retailers lose about 0.6% of their turnover because of the lack in promptness in managing damage and returning it to the supplier. So 0.6% of your turnover, trust me, our software will help save you. The only thing is you have to give the input or set a process in place to give the input saying this particular product is damaged. Returns, my software will take care, or our software will take care. That is about damage. One minute, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there was a slight disruption in the machine which I was connected to. Anyways, so that was about the damage and the next differentiator which I want to talk about is about the employee attrition. So this is something which you can ask, saying how is it related to a software feature? But our differentiators, when I said differentiators in the product, I meant the value which the product can give you. So the employee attrition is something which my product will help you, by means. In retail, it is said that the attrition rate is about 30%. Now let's take, it means that when you have 10 people, 3 people are going to go out. That is the attrition rate as of today. By the software, how it is going to help you in employee attrition is very simple. You have to measure the sales per employee versus the cost per employee. Let's take, my cost per employee is 8,000 rupees. I pay him a salary of 8,000 rupees. And let's take other lunch, etc. You add up to the cost. Let's take the overall cost you incur on an employee is 8,000 rupees. Based on my study with my customers, I have found that your sales per staff can be 31 times of the cost you have incurred. Which means 8,000 rupees is the cost per employee. You will be able to have a sales per employee of 2,40,000 rupees. It means software is necessary for you to optimize your employee count as well, because if you have more number of employees, your sales per staff comes down, your cost per employee goes up. If you have lesser number of employees, that is the reverse, it's vice versa. So optimal level of employee is definitely needed for you to ensure that your sales per staff is higher and you're able to achieve 31 times of what you pay him. And how will this happen? How will you have an optimal level of employee? No, it is very necessary that when somebody operates the software, we spoke about the user friendliness. You don't need to train somebody so much, because they're not going to do. They are only going to see what they're supposed to see. They'll be doing only what they're supposed to do, because a salesperson or a cashier doesn't need to know what is the purchase or a margin or reports or inventory, etc., etc. Similarly, the person in the purchase is bothered only about tallying the invoice. So we have systematically designed every screen in such a way that the scope for errors is very, very limited, or it is nil or limited. Now we can put it this way. And you don't need to have very exhaustive training to help your people get acclimatized to the software. So no need of supervisors at every stage. Interface is foolproof and user friendly. So I want to relate the user friendliness of the software in managing your employee attrition, and finally arriving at an optimal employee count and getting a higher sales per staff. So software not only improves, or its role of software is not only to ensure you check out more number of customers at the counter, it is also helping you manage your employee and their performance better. They're able to do a transaction in lesser time, which means you can have lesser number of people doing the same transaction, or within the particular group. Let's take purchase. If you have 3 people, you can do it only with 2 people, and one more you can use it effectively for some other operations. Let's take repacking or shelving or whatever. So that is a value addition which I've studied personally with 30 of my supermarkets, and I've brought this result. And last point is I want to show you some blogs. So before that, I just want to leave the floor for questions. You please type your questions and I'll be happy to answer. Mr. Raghavendra BG has asked a good question saying, can we get salesman-wise reports? Absolutely, sir. You can get salesman-wise reports. You can get salesman-wise outstanding also. So customer is outstanding also you can get, and the sales contribution also you can get. Absolutely. There are good reports in the software to give. One second, sir. We just. Sir, 1 minute, please. Mr. Manoj had asked a question saying, is inventory management a part of your POS? Absolutely. We are a business automation solution. When we say a supermarket business automation solution, we are talking about modules, namely sales, purchase, inventory, reports, accounts, security, e-filing, and mobility. A one-stop solution for your business. Inventory is definitely there. So when I spoke about purchase, when I spoke about margin protection, when I spoke about expiry products, when I spoke about the importance of shelf life, importance of damage, so there is definitely inventory involved. We give, and trust me, if inventory is your concern, our software will be the very best investment you will ever make. Inventory is our key focus. Definitely we can manage. So if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer, sir. To look at your screen, we might have sent you a question with two options. It is nothing but an opinion poll kind of. I'll be very happy if you can take 2 seconds to answer that, sir. Please. Just see it in the screen, it will come. Sir, if you have done with the poll, please feel free to ask questions, sir. Or if you want me to repeat, because I have been speaking for a pretty long time, so I think if you want me to repeat something, I'll be very happy to repeat or offer clarity. So please ask me questions, sir. Ms. Sudashri has asked a question saying she would want to handle credit payments, meaning after a day or so. Definitely, madam, credit at both ends. The credit which you receive from the suppliers, the credit which you give it to your customers can be managed through software. As I told you, it is a tightly coupled accounting package where a ledger gets created in the accounting automatically when you create a customer and a supplier. So there is a provision for you to settle them bill wise on a later date, either through check or cash, net transfer, either ways. We have a very good option, and we have a complete ledger report of the particular customer, and also is outstanding if any with age. Mr. Raghavendra has asked a question saying whether he can do a purchase approval online. Sir, we have this solution when it comes to a chain of stores. Now, if you look at Honey Money Top, which is a chain of store in Delhi, now they have about 15 outlets. They're affluent stores. And let's take in Chennai, we have Grace Supermarket, which is about 21 stores. So we have plenty of chain customers. You know, out of 8,000, we have plenty of chain customers. So, and every invoice, or let's take any transaction, an approval at the higher level will be needed only when you have multiple stores. For a single store, if you say that when you make a purchase, let's take when your data entry person is making an inward, you don't want that particular inward to get added to your stock unless you verify it. If that is what is your requirement, it is possible, but it has to be done in the software, not online. When you say chain of stores, it is possible online. Mr. Raghavendra has asked a question saying he wants to get credit reminders. Absolutely possible, sir. If you try that, if you look at that watch now, you'll be able to see it real time. If you look at our software, there are schedulers where it will tell you a schedule, give you a detailed schedule of the payments which you have to make and the payments you have to receive. And if you say you need to trigger an SMS, that is also possible. So all three ways are there. So so every step of digitalization, we have been the first player to give you the advanced technology in the best possible manner. We have that, sir. And that is also possible through a push notification as well. Now the digital tools, whatever I mentioned, I spoke about push notifications. This is possible in that also. Okay. So I just wanted to show you some statistics based on a blog which I had written based on my analysis with my customers. As I told you, I worked with about 30 to 40 of my customers to understand the benefits which they have derived out of using a solution. So this talks about the pace of billing or the swiftness in customer checkout. So I've given a statistic on what our software can do in a counter during a peak hour and in a counter in a day. So when we say supermarkets, the peak hour in the first week of the month is between 7 to 8. So 7 to 8, if you see, this will be the statistics, though this will be the numbers which you can easily achieve per counter. And the second column gives you the best results for a day in a counter, in a single counter. Now let's take, if I have if you have two counters, in a peak hour I'll be able to make 150 bills per hour, which means I will be, on an average, I can scan 4,229 items in a counter in an hour. And I make the highest sales in a counter during a peak hour, which is 84,000 rupees. So 84,000 rupees sales I can make in 1 hour in a counter by making 150 bills and scanning 4,229 items on an average. So if you see the best results for a day in a counter, it's about, I make about 500 bills and I scan about 9,386 items very easily, and I can achieve easily a sale of 2 lakh rupees. That is the best result that our software can give, or the speed with which it can work to give you hassle-free, uninterrupted, in consistent revenue in a counter every hour and throughout the day. Now this is the statistics which you can achieve. So why I showed you is to tell you all about this particular thing. Now whatever I showed you in that blog I had written, it's only talks about profit, talks about speed, it talks about revenue per counter per hour. It also talks about information which should be insightful for decision making. So your hourly sales summary, you can in fact categorize customers. Let's take, when you say peak hour, probably let's take, I'm a particular customer category who shops more when it comes to a fancy items. Now in a peak hour, let's take, if 2-3 people are standing, let's take there are plates or plastic items kept. If 3 people are surrounding that plastic item, probably my intention or my there is no impulsive buying there. No, I am not attracted towards the product because there are more people standing ahead of me. But if I am a customer who is into that particular category where I contribute more to that particular category through my purchase. So in our software, you can in fact group me, send me an SMS or an alert and intimate me to come and shop only for that particular category in a non-peak hour. You know, let's take you give me happy hours of let's take 12 to 1 in the afternoon or 11 to 12 in the morning, and say you come and shop for this particular category. To shop beyond 1,000 rupees, I give you 5% off. So statistics both during peak hour and non-peak hour is very important, which our software can give you. That is why I told you insightful information for actionable decision making is possible through our software. It is very much possible. So this is whatever I have spoken is what I have talked or whatever I have learned from the customers during this 7 years. I've got the opportunity to work with customers like you for 7 years, and this is what they have told me that they have got the benefits from the software. And now the last step is I would want to tell you all the differentiators during GST. I would again want to repeat what I told you earlier. GoFrugal is a GST Suvidha provider, the only retail software company in the 34 companies shortlisted by the Government of India. And with our wide presence pan-India and across the globe, with our bandwidth, if you look at our bandwidth, GoFrugal has about 300 members, of which more than 60% is only into development. That is our bandwidth. You can imagine the investment which you have made to the product quality. And one major point which I want to tell you, see, you might be using a software already, or you might have tried or had demonstrations of other softwares. So one point which I always tell my customers, see, there are about 100, 200, 300 menus in my software, hundreds of menus in the software, hundreds of reports in the software, because as I told you, it's a 15-year-old product. One assurance, take it from me, you please try it out. Every menu in the software will work according to the functionality it is built for. You will not get a single error when you click a particular menu. So this kind of assurance many software companies cannot give. When a functionality is developed, unless it is practiced or used by the customers, then there is no point in telling they have functionality. In our software, everything we have will work, because with the higher investment in the R&D, we give terrific importance to the quality. When we give weekly releases and updates, a step-by-step effort to make you experience a quality product, this is what we have it in mind. Everything that we build will work. Every functionality works. That is an assurance. And with the same bandwidth and same vision in mind, we took the step ahead, a mental leap and a physical leap to help you all, help our customers have a smooth transition during the GST. We wanted to be a differentiator again. The differentiator, first differentiator is we set up a dedicated helpline only for GST. So if you go to our website, you will find a helpline and we have termed it Chitty. Now this Chitty is a chatbot. You ask any questions about GST, it will answer. So it is nothing but your tax consultant who is answering your question free of cost. You can take it that way. Trust me. You ask any question about GST, it will tell you. And my customers have experienced a very smooth transition only because of this helpline Chitty. No questions or no hassles, no interruptions. You have a question, you ask Chitty. It will guide you with the steps. It will guide you with the videos. You please incorporate it. Your problem is solved. That is what is our level of digitalization, which is our vision in making customers go digital. And 8,000 plus supermarkets have gone live with GST without POS, without interruptions. That is a very big achievement, huge achievement. And a step-by-step effort to ensure the transition is not felt at all by the customers. We started this journey in the second week of June. So second week of June, we started this journey where we released our products where customers can start practicing GST on a practice mode. Let's take when somebody has started on 13th of June, switching billing on GST on 1st of July is not a problem at all, because it's already practiced for 17 days. So that is the step-by-step effort which we have done to ensure the customers don't feel there is a transition at all, because GST on a higher level, if you look at, it is nothing but changing tax structure. So it is going to replace VAT. That is what the simplicity we had in mind. That is what helped us achieve this transition without any problems. And last is this webinar and self-help videos. No retail company would have given you webinars like this. Trust me, there is an investment from our side also in terms of cost. No, time is yours. Probably there is an investment in terms of time and money from your side, but this webinars is an investment from our side, and we had a very good response like this webinar where customers joined the webinars, asked questions, and they were able to incorporate it without any problems. So these are the differentiators during the GST which helped us have a successful transition, or help my customers have a successful transition. So with these differentiators, I would want to finally conclude with an assurances which GoFrugal supermarket software can give you. Take this as assurances. These are what my customers have told me. You can experience it yourself after buying the product. So you can be assured of not losing even 1 paisa of your deserved margin. That is an assurance. And we be assured of billing not even one expired product to the customer. That is an assurance. Be assured of selling 31 times more than what you spend on employees. That is an assurance. And be assured of your billing not getting stopped even one of the billing counters anytime. Your billing will never ever stop. Take it for granted. In our 15 years, not even one customer has told us saying his billing in one counter has stopped. Because as I want to repeat what I told, quality shipping is what is our vision. Everything what we ship is quality. That's why every functionality works. So all these are assurances, and one more assurance I would want to add, that every functionality in our product will work. That is more important. So with these assurances, I would want to leave the floor again for questions. You please post your questions and I'll be happy to answer them, sir. Tamil Vanan had, since probably I spoke about the differentiators in GST, wanted to understand what we have in the product. I'll be very happy to explain. Thank you so much for asking, sir. See, if you look at the GST, this is the master where you create the products, and here you have a specific menu called GST detail. So in this, you can give the HSN codes. I'm showing you item wise. We have given you an excellent provision of doing it easily through an Excel. You give it in the Excel, we'll be able to import it in the product. And these are the tag structures which we have that can be mapped to the product. And once it is done in the product, in the masters, it will get automatically reflected in the purchase, so in the billing, so in the report, so in the e-file. So everything starts from the master. So I thought I would tell you how easy we have made it in the master. And there are certain no, when you talk about purchase calculation on MRP, there are certain items for which the government says that on MRP the tax has to be calculated. For this, there is an abatement percentage given to you, by your tax consultant. You please give the abatement percentage, and so direct GST or GST with abatement, both are taken care of in the software. It's very easy, sir. And I would also want to request you to register in my GoFrugal app, and we have the GST videos available to you. I was talking about the webinars and the self-help videos. You please watch the step-by-step video which we have given to you, right from masters till the transactions. Everything will be 2 to 3 minutes. It will be a playlist. You please watch and you'll be able to appreciate. Number two, if you are not able to do so, you can please go to YouTube, type GoFrugal GST videos. You get the playlists all over. So you'll be able to see all those 3-minute videos, right from masters till the bill print. There are customers who have designed their bill print themselves. So they said they want to do it themselves. That easy it was. So you can look at. I'm sorry, I think the screen share was not there. So this is what I was telling about. So this is the GST, the masters where you create the products, which I told you can either create or import it through Excel. This GST tab is given to you, where you can choose the corresponding GST percentages and map the HSN code also here, or you map it for a new product in the purchase screen. And for products with MRP GST calculation, you can give the MRP. If the GST is based on MRP, you please give the abatement percentage here for purchase and sales, so that is taken care in the transactions automatically. I think I have answered your question, sir. I am leaving the floor for questions, sir. I'll be very happy to answer your questions, sir. You please type your questions. Or, as I told earlier, if you want me to repeat certain things, I'll be very happy to do so. You please tell me. I'll help you. So we also have the self-help videos that I was talking about. We have it in the website also. It is right. It is right in the home page. I think you're able to see my screen now. It is right in the home page. Now you have to go to gofrugal.com. Then you say this. You see this find out link here. You click on this. It will take you to this page. You choose the RPOS 6.5, this particular second one, and you see the videos. Now this is a step-by-step video, master, transaction and upgrade. If you want, there is a full transition video also. Both you can see. So I'm happy that there are many of the customers who have asked for quotation from us. So we'll definitely help. We'll send it across through email, and I would repeat that we'll be more happy to give you an in-depth demonstration, because as I told you, seeing is believing. We help, we give customers what they want. That is what is our USB. We'll be happy to give you an in-depth demonstration and take our relationship ahead. And trust me, it will be a long-term relationship. So we'll wind up in another 3 to 5 minutes if you don't have any questions. If at all you have, please post it, sir. I'll answer. Okay, sir. Thank you so much again for your time. I want to thank you all profusely. Uh, Please, I want to end with one statement which I told you in the starting. Investment in GoFrugal will be one of the best investments you will ever make. Trust me. So let us know how we can help and take our relationship ahead. Thank you so much. Have a great day.